first guest is someone with whom I connected instantly. Not just because of our bond connection, her father and me being from the same beautiful city of Calcutta, but because we share same positive outlook towards life. Her journey began from being an impressionable young model battling with eating disorders to an accomplished 47-year-old surviving multiple myeloma, which is a very rare form of cancer. She continues to inspire us, living life to the fullest with her husband, 2 babies, balancing work and her philanthropic endeavors. Please say a big hello to gorgeous Lisa Ray, daughter, wife, mother, actor, author, cancer survivor, and a beautiful soul.
Thank you, Suman. That's a lot of labels, right? That's a lot of titles and beyond.
Actually, all
and beyond.
Yeah, beyond. Of course, beyond. So when I was reading your book, Close to the Bone, there was one profound saying by you inside the cover. So
can I guess?
Yes.
Is it how fortunate it is a thing when life alters?
Yes. It is really mind-blowing. Yeah. So what do you mean by this?
I'm glad that you picked up on that one line, how fortunate a thing it is when life alters you without warning. Yeah. Because it sounds like a very almost counterintuitive line. We tend to think that when something happens unexpectedly, that we lose control of our life. And I'm not saying that I wasn't maybe disoriented by a lot of the things that have happened in my life, because there's been a lot of unexpected
many, I know,
U-turns and detours in my life. But I think because of that, I've learned to embrace sort of the flow of life. Like cancer, like certain accidents that have happened in my life, certain difficulties have accelerated my personal growth. Being with them, almost making friends with them and coming out the other side, that has
that's beautiful. Making friends with them. Beautiful.
Making friends with adversity.
Yeah,
you know,
adversity.
like actually asking adversity, come here, sit down, have a tea with me.
I know, I read that.
Instead of
like, pushing it away, denial.
And of course, it's a very human reaction
to do that. Yeah, I also read that once you first found out that you have this rare form of cancer, so you were comforting the doctor because you thought he was more stressed than you. I remember that. That was so amazing. So how did you find this strength in you?
So that's not an easy, straightforward answer, to be honest. Why I had such a peculiar reaction to being diagnosed with essentially a fatal incurable disease. Most people don't sort of offer their doctor a glass of water. And
I know.
Are you feeling okay?
That was it. And very young. I heard this cancer also happens at a much later age, and
That was also very unusual. I was diagnosed at 37 when most people are diagnosed in their 60s. There's a certain aspect of me was in denial and in shock, and I know that. But number 2, I had also felt that there was something wrong. I'd been living with this unease or this disease for a long time, and I was always pushing it under the carpet and always in denial about it. So after a while, it's a revelation just to know what is wrong with you, because once you know what's wrong, you can do something about it.
What was the root cause of your feeling down?
And I had gone through like many months of tests and and waiting and things like that. But I own my reaction, because for me, I recognize that maybe I can not only address what's wrong in me physically, but also what has been wrong in me also on a psychological level, on an emotional level, on a spiritual level. Because healing, I think you'll agree with me, so it has to take place on
all 3 levels, all
different layers of our being.
So after finding out that you have this cancer, there are 2 treatments which are very difficult to bear, and like how did you face them? And
I give a lot of credit to a lot of my practices, my meditation practice, my studies in Buddhism, my studies of Buddhism.
I read that too.
I've always been a seeker.
And seeker.
This is sort of a part of my secret life, maybe, that has always been running parallel to my public life.
Okay.
So, there's a lovely saying as well that everyone has a public life, a private life, and a secret life. And that I realized when I was around 30 that I was tired of feeling like I was always hiding them. There wasn't harmony for me inside, and feeling these wounds, because they do take, emotional wounds take as big a toll on us as physical wounds.
Yes.
I tend to feel. That's where I had kind of developed almost like this bucket, like I'd filled my bucket with or you might say my bank account,
Yeah.
my inner bank account.
Inner bank account, yeah.
So I could draw
So all
on
that
it.
you could draw. Oh, it's beautiful. The very beautiful way of putting it. Yeah.
So I could. So when I needed it, I could draw on it. But I also have a sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
I think that
She used to.
helped a
I
lot.
remember. She used to make friends with the machine, which used to give treatment to you. Okay, come. Okay, you're. Like that was the beautiful thing about it. I really loved the way you had done the whole thing.
I think I named one Melvin.
Yes. Yes.
He was my most constant companion all the time when I had to go up and down the hospital.
Yeah, your IV. Yeah, he was Elvin.
My IV pole became Melvin. So that does help. I think imagination, humor, resilience. Which, to be honest, we all have.
We just don't bring it out.
I think we can bring it all out, but it's something, I think it's great to be able to talk about it, to remind people that we have these incredible tools. Because you know what ends up happening in our life? We're always looking outside for the answer.
Yeah.
And I did that too. For a lot of my life, it was this external search. It was
you go here, go there,
yeah,
and
or finding a teacher and a guide. And I am fortunate to have great teachers and guides.
Yes,
I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it, but at some point,
you have to be your own guide.
Recognize
yes, yeah.
that we have everything that we need inside us.
Yeah, but I love the way you humored your cancer. So another question comes here, like people generally hide their cancers. They don't want to talk about it, and especially being in a public image like you. So what gave you the strength, and why did you come out with it?
When I was initially diagnosed, yes, I was advised by a lot of people around me, don't talk about it openly, and they were speaking about it from their truth, and they were being protective, and I know they were trying to be helpful. And then I still remember clearly once I did a shoot, this was in Toronto at the time, I did a shoot, and I had to leave it early to go for my chemo, but I didn't tell anyone why. And I ended up sitting there. I went to chemo daycare, and the nurse was looking at me. I had this full makeup face, and she was thinking, who the hell comes with full makeup to chemo? I mean, who is this woman? And something in me just broke in that moment, and I said, why am I hiding? Why am I living this absurd double life? Who is it serving outside me? And at the same time, the other question was, what have I done wrong? Why is there a taboo?
Why is it a taboo? Why can't you come out with it? It's okay. Yeah.
It's okay. I'm going through something that is very normal. And that made me question a lot of things. So I decided that I am going to
go public. And then you started writing Yellow Diary?
I started writing because writing was a great form of expression, and it was a way for healing and understanding what I was going through.
Yeah.
And then secondly, I announced my diagnosis on the red carpet.
Yeah.
Because the red carpet at the Toronto International Festival, because the red carpet is a place that is so much about perfection. And what I call the pathology of perfection. I thought, this is my chance to break that cycle of perfection. And for me, then, cancer was an opportunity to stand on that red carpet and say, this is who I am. I was 40 pounds overweight, bloated on steroids.
I know, you said the moon face.
I had the moon face, which is a very normal reaction when you're taking very heavy steroids. And I said, balls, I'm done with it. I'm going to own this moment, and I'm going to hijack this moment.
That was beautiful.
I'm going to hijack it and talk about something that is meaningful to me personally. And the strangest thing is, I was the most unself-conscious I've ever been before on that damn red carpet.
So at self-care, we believe in a very holistic approach towards the diet and exercise, even when people come to us with cancer, post-cancer chemo. So we give a diet which is naturally supporting whatever they're going through and making sure that it does not reoccur. So what was your approach towards exercise and diet during those months or years?
You have 2 hours. We'll continue this talk. I know, and I would love to also sit with you and get your insights. I don't believe in, say, holistic at the, it's holistic for a reason, but I don't believe in alternate at the expense of allopathic, or allopathic
I also
at
don't.
the expense of, it's more integrated.
So I 100% agree.
Yeah, I want to make it very clear that everything that I've done has been a combination of. So I followed what my oncologist says, and then I have healers, whether they're naturopaths or whether they're Ayurvedic doctors or whether they're my nutritionists or whether they're any of the healing centers that I've been through, who work alongside with whatever my oncologist has also recommended. My healing journey really deepened when I relapsed. So I relapsed in 2012, which is I've not written about it, Close to the Bone, and will be part of the next book, the next chapter. And I relapsed literally a month after I got married.
Okay.
But fortunately, by then, I had already learned a lot about my body and about my disease and my condition. So I wasn't extremely anxious about it, but I knew inside my head, I said, what am I missing? I'm missing a big piece of this healing puzzle. So I put on my, inspector cap, and I decided that I'm going to investigate and try to figure out what is it that I'm missing. And so I ended up going to a place called the Hippocrates Health Institute. And I'm sure you know, Hippocrates had said famously, let food be thy medicine.
Yeah.
And this is something that we have to go back to again and again. So I went and did a 3-week life transformation program, which really was very profound for me, because it wasn't just about changing my diet and trying to reverse disease using nutrition.
Yes.
But it was also about understanding why. I attended a lot of lectures, so I understood, how does your immune system work? How does your digestion work? Because obviously everything, all this integrates into how your body works and how it heals and doesn't heal.
Yeah.
So I went on a raw diet, which is not lifelong, but because my body was in crisis, going completely raw, a lot of juices, a lot of wheatgrass, I think really, really helped me. Then also maintaining the alkalinity in my internal system through what I chose to eat. So that was extremely helpful. So helpful, in fact, that I didn't have to go in for a second stem cell transplant.
Yeah, that's what I read.
And that I was back in remission within 2 months. So my doctor actually said, I don't even want to know what you're doing, but whatever you're doing, keep doing it. So, after that, I continued. I didn't stop there. I've gone on sort of a deep shamanic, cleansing. I've done kinds of deep detoxes. Of course, I've tried to cut out sugar from my diet as much as possible, but I'm not completely dogmatic about it.
Yeah.
I went from raw to vegan to vegetarian, and now I do integrate some protein into my diet.
Yes.
But it's mainly because I tune into my body. I really, really do ask my body, what is it?
Oh, beautiful.
And it's taken me a long time to get there. But I trust my body to take the lead sometimes. So that's been my approach. Of course, yoga is really important to me. Pilates. I have found, though, the exercises that resonate with me. There are certain things that I don't enjoy jogging. I don't really, to be honest, enjoy going to the gym.
But the main thing about cancer is just oxygenating your body through way of exercise. It's like, think about it, if you don't exercise, so there's no oxygenation happening. So the tiny parts of your body does not get enough oxygen. So like how you shut a room and there is no air, so you breed what? Insects and spiders and webs. This is what exactly happens. So a lot of, so it's very, very, so exercise is a way, and a good, healthy, neat, clean diet with little bit deviation.
Also, you detox from people.
Oh,
you detox from toxic energy.
Toxic
and
energy.
Not even, sometimes it's toxic energy, sometimes it's the people who just may not support your healing journey. For instance, as you said, sleep is very important, and I'm very much a morning person. So
you stopped partying.
I stopped partying. I rarely go out for like really late nights. It's just not my thing. I like quiet, intimate dinners. I try to eat early as well.
Yeah, which is very good, very important. For a good quality of sleep.
Yeah, for a good quality of sleep, and also I think just overall for your health and your balance. So, my friends who kind of in the beginning are like, come on, don't be lame, you're so boring, yaar. Even if it's a joke in the beginning, after a while, if they don't understand, it's really important to me.
Then So here we know that vitamin D, neat and healthy eating with enough proteins, cutting down carbs, having sugar to minimum, but still enjoying some carbs here and there to keep the happiness quotient high, and sleep and supplements.
And supplements.
Vitamin C and
I'm very big on supplements as well, because sometimes we just can't in today's world
trust me, this is exactly how we manage our cancer patients. So now I just wanted to ask you, who are the people besides exercise and diet who's helped you to come out of this, who made a difference to your life and supported you in this journey?
Too many to name.
Yes, I'm sure.
But I do want to acknowledge all the people who sent me messages, who were strangers, or maybe who I'd only met once in my life, and we had this wonderful exchange, what I call like this great energy exchange, where they shared how they were thinking about me when I was going through my disease and supporting me, and how they respected that I was open. Anonymous nurses and patients and people like that. And the interesting thing is that whenever I would ask them, how do I pay you back? You've done so much to me and you've impacted my life. Do you know what they would say? They said, pay it forward.
Oh, beautiful. I'm getting goosebumps.
I get teary when I think about that moment. Because to me, I really feel that is the greatest hope we have for changing.
For
it's
change,
a ripple effect, right? It's a beautiful ripple effect. I'll tell you one more thing. It's important. Turn off the toxic news.
Yes.
The news today actually has such an effect on our psyche and gets into your system. And a lot of great healers that I've spoken to, they said, you don't need it. Turn off the news. And I'm not saying it doesn't mean that you don't care about the world. But if we turn off the news and we actually end up using, like I said, pay it forward, small little acts of kindness, imagine how we can change the world. So that's what I would want to share, is that, those are the people that have impacted me, aside from, of course, my father, my husband, who married me knowing that I have an incurable disease. I have so many friends and family and new friends that I made, sort of my cancer graduate friends, my cancer crew, who have been incredibly supportive, because also at the end of the day, I do have to share that unless you've walked in those shoes, no one else can completely understand what you've been through.
How did you find you're strong?
How did I find my strong? I want to share that I found my strong by being vulnerable, by being open, by actually being able to remove the mask and the many labels and layers that had either been imposed on me, or that I had even imposed on myself, or that I had built up because out of fear of what will people think about me. And it was only once I found the strength to let go of those layers that I realized how much strength there is in openness. And in vulnerability.
Yes.
And that's why this phase of my life now, at 47, living with this disease, but living my best life, literally my best life.
I see you so happy and
with open and honesty.
And
nothing is perfect in my life, but also embracing that imperfection.
Any message would you like to share? One line message.
I can share a personal mantra, which is actually connected with my tattoo. Which is this lotus. And it's Padma Padram Ivam Bhasa. I don't know if you come across this. It's just basically, it's a beautiful shlok that I came across when I was shooting water in my film. And it's just basically live your life like the lotus flower. And there's two ways of interpreting that. And one is that, of course, the lotus symbolically, this beautiful, delicate flowers floating on this murky water. It's often blooming in kind of the dirtiest water. And so we have that ability to be in a world and still bloom and still somewhere be able to actually be untouched by the murkiness of the world, and maybe even make that world a little bit brighter. And the other way is no mud, no lotus. Actually,
both the interpretations are beautiful.
It's the struggle of life that brings out our inner lotus.
So it's beautiful what you said, and that's a beautiful message, guys. And I hope you all enjoyed the show. And thank you so much for being with us. Thank you, Lisa, for being with us.
Thank you, Suman. This is a fabulous chat. Thank you. And thank you for the work that you do as well.
Thank you.